By making it, again, repeating it, by making it as a special assessment and not incorporating in the budget, we're putting it out there, and it will disappear the moment liability disappears.
Frank?
Well, just one issue. I think if we manage our money better, for example, we have a PM solution, $30,000 that wasn't budgeted. We have to pay for that. We have an investigation with a 3.5-pound report, which was probably over $50,000. That would have more than paid for the $71,000 legal fee for these two settlements. And in addition to the $71,000, we already paid Mr. Buckaloo, because he was working on these cases. So this
That's why
is.
it made sense to settle.
I understand that. So this $71,000 doesn't represent the whole thing. We
No.
already paid.
$231,000.
But I'm saying if we manage our money better and stop wasting our money, perhaps we won't be in such a hole with legal fees.
That's true, and you never know, if we don't get lawsuits, that you have to respond to them.
And if homeowners pay their,
Yes.
I just wanted to say to Franco, absolutely, we need to manage our money better always to do that, and our legal fees. But I did want to say that even if that 71,000 wasn't 71, and if it was 35, it would still be assessed, because it's part of, that's the reasoning, it's part of that extraordinary, one-time, dual litigants settlement. So it would still be assessed. That's what I
Point of
wanted to say,
personal
even if it was
privilege.
less.
I understand that, but again, if we didn't
Point
waste,
of information.
if we didn't waste our money with legal, we could have had the money to pay for this.
It would still be assessed, even if we had the money sitting there, it would still be assessed.
Well, we would have somebody.
Oh, you're
Right.
saying if, oh,
Not
okay,
Getting
I
into
know,
less discussion. Please.
I'm sorry, I,
Raise your hand and be
Okay.
recognized before you speak.
okay, I won't say.
Franco, something like that is not budgeted for. These were expenses to settle the case.
Right, but there are things that we spend money on that are not budgeted for.
Yes,
Many things.
yes.
And I'm sure, I mean, if I knew all of them and I'm on the board, I would probably fall over. But that's the issue. We have too high of an expense in legal. And I think
I
we should,
agree.
I
That's
think
why
we
this
should put a
year's
cap
going
on
to-
legal of no more than $100,000.
Very impractical. I'd
That's
love it
rather
to
low.
be that.
Well, you know what, you have to start somewhere. You know, this is really obscene, this kind of money.
Maybe if some lawsuits will be withdrawn, it would very easily go down.
Well, if some lawsuits were not started, then maybe some others wouldn't have occurred.
Never know. Anybody else? No? Okay. Then we might as well vote on this.
So this is, we're voting on the
Somebody has
motion.
a question.
Okay. Someone call the question.
I call the question.
Can you repeat the
Oh.
motion?
All those in favor?
Oh,
In this case,
Well,
I'm
let
asked
me-
for us to repeat the motion. A motion for settlement of prior R&R liabilities to be paid over 24 months to include litigation fees, and the 50,000 deposit already paid to be included in the first 12 months to be addressed as follows. In
You-
2011, 328,474 for Delano and Gorman, which is inclusive of $257,474 as part of the settlement to the two litigants, and $71,000 in legal. And this is to be paid over the next 12 months in equal monthly installments.
What you're voting on now is to call the question, which means close discussion and then proceed to a vote on the motion that was just
The
read.
special-
Right, I
You have
just
to have
reread
two
it.
votes,
I reread
The
it.
special
one for closed
assessment.
discussion, and the other, if
Closed
closed discussion
discussion.
passes, then you proceed to the
Okay.
motion.
All those in favor?
But we're
All those in
talking, we're
favor?
talking about the special assessment only.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
just-
all those in favor to close discussion? Opposed? Abstain. Okay.
Now it's on the motion.
Now, the motion.
Which I'm not, don't think I
So
need to
don't
read
read this
again.
motion.
No.
It's been read.
All those in favor to approve the motion as read by Gail? Opposed? Abstain?
Approximately.
Motion carries, and I have Judith Courtney's proxy.
Yes, can you read it? What she wrote you? Ah, okay.
I don't,
Should have been printed out and read into the record.
Okay. Can I have a motion next? Can I have a motion to approve the 2011 budget for $19,002,092?
You wanna make a motion?
I'll second your motion.
As secretary, I will read the motion no one wants to make. Can I have a motion to approve the 2011 budget for $19,002,092?
It's the joke to
I'll second the
board.
motion.
Second the
Everybody's
motion.
laughing here. It's no joke.
Although,
No.
discussion?
Discussion.
I'd like to amend the motion to give opportunities to the homeowners to see this budget. Any second?
I'll write this down now.
What are you, crazy? You're gonna get a
You
second?
wanna-
Please, I asked you to be respectful.
If there was someone here to respect,
Excuse
I
me,
would be respectful.
close down the meeting, and the homeowners will suffer because of this. The motion, so it did not pass. So, the original motion is on the table. Any other discussion? Franco?
Well, I seem to have a problem with some of the things going on here. We have unit owners who are in arrears and trying to pay their bills. They get liens placed on their apartments for small amounts, even when it's a disputed amount, which is not supposed to, it's in limbo. And then we have the mall that filed Chapter 11 in January 2010, and they didn't pay for like 6 months, and there was no lien placed on them. We were told that the board didn't know. I frankly, my opinion is just not believable, and I can't trust what's coming out of this board to not know that the biggest unit owner in the Galaxy, the mall, at the Galaxy, Marty Sergi, that owns more than 50% of the mall, didn't pay more than 6 months or around 6 months of his assessments, and to hear that our president at that time say that he didn't know that Marty wasn't paying his bills is just beyond belief. But then, and no lien was placed, nothing, but homeowners are being treated differently from the mall. For some reason, the mall is getting repairs at the expense, I think, of residential owners. I don't know who is looking out for the homeowners here. Seems like I always hear these stories before I was ever involved with any board or any politics here, that the mall is always getting some free ride somewhere. They're always getting this, they're getting that. So, for example, all those units that are being subdivided, nothing is ever done. I bring it up, nobody does anything about it. So there must be some kind of connection. I don't know what's going on, but I don't think we're being fair to the homeowners. And for the homeowners, the residential owners, to be picking up the bill for a commercial entity like the mall at the Galaxy and anybody else who's not paying in the mall, any subunit owner or any parking spaces that are not being paid, we all have to pick up. I think that's highly unfair.
Unfortunately, it's in bankruptcy court. Everything gets frozen at that time,
I'm from pre-bankruptcy.
even post. Until they approve a plan, nothing can be done. Slava?
Franklin, I don't know how many times you need to repeat what was said is on the record. Unfortunately, we did not know that the mall was in arrears. Unfortunately, the reports we are getting from our controller that everything was great, and there was the one dispute of 1 month because of the fees which we were supposed to pay the mall for the repairs they did. I don't know how many times we need to repeat it. Unfortunately, issues like this take place. Regardless of what I just said, even if we did, bankruptcy changes the game immediately. The moment there is a pre-petition period, even if you did wrong, pre-petition period made it completely even. As far as speaking of unit owners in arrears, I believe that you need to withdraw yourself from participating in this conversation because apparently you do have a serious conflict here. You can't just promote the idea of being in arrears while you are in arrears. So this is, I would just simply, if I were you, I would remove this comment entirely. It is very unfortunate that the mall is not paying. There is nothing we can do. I believe that we've done a lot of things to make them pay. But the good news is that At least this is what our attorney said, that there was a contract signed.